What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel this evening, October 18th, 2017. This is your official NXT review for tonight's show as we slowly build and we slowly see the pieces form in the puzzle that will be TakeOver War Games Survivor Series weekend, man. Tonight we've seen Undisputed versus Sanity in a big six-man tag. We've seen more in the ways of Alistair Black and Patrick Clark, the Velveteen Dream. We've seen a squash match with Cassius Ono. Oh, no! And then Drew McIntyre giving an interview on his NXT title run so far, but interrupted by the lovely Zelina Vega via Andrade Cien Almas. And he wasn't there tonight, but Zelina Vega is doing the work lobbying for Almas to be the next in line to challenge Drew McIntyre for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Also, we're going to find out who the third woman is in that big fatal four-way match to crown a new NXT Women's Champion. Right now, we got Peyton Royce and Kairi Sane, the Pirate Princess, going to NXT TakeOver War Games to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. So all that tonight, right here on NXT. I did not do a live stream tonight, man. I am a little bit under the weather, believe it or not. My voice is not at 100%. I have a little bit of a sore throat. I feel very fatigued. I had a pretty bad headache today, all day. I don't know if I'm getting sick or not, but I hope not. And as far as my voice goes, I apologize to those who were excited about sitting down and chilling with me on Twitch during the NXT live reactions tonight. I said, screw it tonight. I need to conserve my voice because Saturday night, I have a House of Glory show to work and a main event of Michael Elgin versus the Amazing Red for the House of Glory World Heavyweight Championship. So I want to make sure I am at least as close as I can be to 100% for that show if I am getting sick. I was barely able to get through the live stream this afternoon for WWE 2K18. You guys came out in full force yet again for episode 3. Almost 1,000 live viewers. We already eclipsed 1,000 likes on the video. You guys have been so great so far for the 2K stuff. And hopefully it can keep my interest, man. My career, I feel it already. It's going to get boring. But we will make the most of it. And especially on Twitch with Universe Mode. You guys came out last night on Twitch as I conducted my live draft lottery. Randomized. It's all randomized, man. We got NXT, SmackDown, and Raw rosters all set up. I just have to use my creative juices and get the things going right now. But you guys came out last night for the draft, man. Almost 900 live viewers on Twitch, man. That is the most I've ever had for anything I ever did on Twitch. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the continued love and support. It's going to be our year, man. It is going to be our year, and you guys are going to be a part of that. And I want to thank each and every one of you so far for an amazing week of content. More to come. Please follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hopefully by the end of the night, we will be at 84,000 subscribers. That means we will only be 16,000 away from that ultimate goal that I've been striving for of 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. We got more content coming this weekend with Off the Script. Massive news on Survivor Series, Nia Jax. I got news on Neville. Bunch of shit going down in the WWE, and it's not looking good. I got news on Kane's return, what WWE could possibly have planned for Kane's return at Survivor Series. Will this lead to The Undertaker coming back? Will this lead to Kane and The Undertaker reforming the Brothers of Destruction to go against The Shield at Survivor Series? Bunch of stuff this weekend. So make sure you guys keep an eye and an ear on the channel and you are subscribed. Not only subscribe, but turn on that bell for all notifications. I want to thank Audible for sponsoring the podcast tonight. Audible, you guys get 30 days, 1 month free of their service just for listening to me tonight. All you got to do is go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. This is only for new listeners of the show. We got Jim Ross's new book out. You guys can get it for free. As soon as you sign up to try their service for 1 month, you're going to get one audio book. You can get Jim Ross's new audio book, 11 hours of audio spoken by JR himself. You guys can go get AJ Lee's new book, which has been the hottest wrestling book all year. You guys can even pre-order Mick Foley's new book coming out this holiday season. So you guys can do all that. And if you don't care for the wrestling stuff, you got over 180,000 choices to choose from. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much. Let's pick up those Audible sales and that Audible support, being that they are sponsoring the show each and every week. Let's do that for those guys, and you guys get something for free just for listening to the show. Show started off here, man, with Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, and Sonya Deville in a triple threat match to determine who the third woman is for the Fatal 4-Way at NXT TakeOver War Games. Now, the rest of the women will figure out who's going to be that fourth woman, because William Regal is putting every woman on the roster who has not already advanced in a huge women's battle royal next week to determine who that fourth woman will be. And a lot of those women are coming from the Mae Young Classic, like Bianca Belair. You're going to see Vanessa Bourne. You're going to see Dakota Kai. So a lot of those women are going to be in this huge battle royal. I don't know what the spoilers are, but if I was to choose one woman from that, obviously I would choose Bianca Belair. But I have a feeling Nikki Cross is going to find her way into this match some way, somehow, because she got fucked over by the Undisputed and Taynara Conti last week. So I'm thinking that, being that she got fucked over, she's going to find her way into the Fatal 4-Way regardless, because this entire pay-per-view is being built around Sanity and the Undisputed and however else they build towards War Games. So that's my prediction on that. But Ember Moon qualified and took the third spot tonight by defeating Sonya Deville and Ruby Riott in a triple threat match. I'm going to say this outright. I don't like Sonya Deville. She might be a fantastic human being outside the ring, but this MMA shtick with the braided hair look and the music that's just cringeworthy, the outfit, the whole persona of this MMA fighter, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I watch WWE to watch professional wrestling. I don't watch WWE to watch MMA. We already have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler coming on in, and when you compare both of those women who are going to be in a WWE ring, and then you look at Sonya Deville, who are you going to take? You ain't taking Sonya Deville, I'll tell you that. So I don't like anything about the gimmick. The gimmick and what she's trying to do just does not feel organic. It feels very, very forced. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, but Sonya Deville in her current state does absolutely nothing for me. I see her going nowhere with that gimmick whatsoever. But this was all Ember Moon, man. Ember Moon wins this match with an eclipse. We had Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville in the middle of the ring. Sonya Deville had a ankle lock applied. Ember Moon, behind Sonya Deville's back, climbs the top rope, delivers an eclipse to Sonya Deville as she still has the ankle lock applied on Ruby Riott. She gets nailed with the eclipse. She rolls away. Ember Moon sees Ruby Riott in pain from the ankle lock. She covers Ruby Riott for the 1, 2, 3. Ember Moon is advancing to take over War Games as the third female to qualify for that big Fatal 4-Way for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. The Performance Center security camera caught an interesting interaction with the Undisputed Era as they approached Roderick Strong coming out of the Performance Center on a random afternoon last week, training. So there was no audio to this. It was one of those old school vignettes, black and white. All we seen was motion and movement. Adam Cole has a Undisputed t-shirt, and you see a lot of hand movements, and you see Adam Cole put a t-shirt over the left shoulder of Roderick Strong. And he does one of these. He's like, think about it. Think about it. Here's the t-shirt. Come join us. Think about it, right? So Roderick Strong looks at it. He takes the shirt off his shoulder. He shakes his head no. He puts the shirt over Adam Cole's right shoulder, does this, and then walks away. So Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole all looking at each other like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? We gave him an easy in to join Undisputed, and he doesn't want it. He's walking away from us. So this is a nice little tease here, man. This is a nice little tease for Undisputed to recruit yet another ex-Ring of Honor alum for their faction. Now, we all know that it's going to be Sanity, Undisputed, and the Authors of Pain with Roderick Strong at War Games. How we get there, I don't know. That's the whole fun of it. When War Games was announced and War Games was leaked, that NXT was doing War Games, we all found out who was going to take part in this big double ring, huge steel cage match. Roderick Strong is a part of that. But how we get there is going to be the whole fun of it. And then what happens at TakeOver War Games, we don't know. Roddy could still end up joining the Undisputed at the end of that night. So we don't know. But I like the little teases here and there. It's all building up to something. And it's very interesting to see the Undisputed try and recruit more members to their faction. I like it. It was a nice little segment. Very old school in a way. And I dug it. Definitely. Christy St. Cloud. Christy St. Cloud, who's as big as a cloud, interviews General Manager William Regal and asked how the final women's title competitor will be determined for Houston. That's when he says that it will be a huge battle royal. But before he announced a battle royal, we had Peyton Royce and Billie Kay come out, and Billie Kay insisted that William Regal pick her to be the final woman to qualify for this Fatal 4. Regal says that she will be in a match, but it will be a battle royal featuring the rest of the women's roster. Kay storms off. Peyton Royce asks William Regal, how could you? And then storms off with a nasty attitude. Alistair Black. This was my favorite part of the show, man. This was my favorite part of the show. This may be my favorite feud right now in all of NXT. Alistair Black versus Raul Mendoza. If you guys are familiar with that name, I'm sure you are. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic. He was eliminated by Brian Kendrick in the first round of the Cruiserweight Classic. Alistair Black beat Raul Mendoza via pinfall with a black mass. Devastating. I love Morrow's call of the black mass, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Just so exciting. But that's not what happened, man. We all knew Alistair Black was going to defeat Raul Mendoza. But the main thing that happened here is before the match even got started, and I want you guys to pay attention to why NXT storytelling is so much better than main roster Raw and SmackDown television. It's attention to detail. And I want you guys to remember that. Attention to detail. Everything that you watch on NXT has a reason. Everything you watch as far as mannerisms and cutaways and certain things that happen have a reason for being on television. They make sense of it. Attention to detail. Alistair Black defeated Raul Mendoza with the black mass. Right? But all through the match, we had Patrick Clark, the Velveteen Dream, come out. And before the match even started, we had Raul Mendoza attack Alistair Black with his back turned because of the distraction from the Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream took Alistair Black's vest. It's got his name written on it on the back of the vest. He took his vest and he puts his vest on. He starts parading around ringside with Alistair Black's vest on. Alistair Black paid him absolutely no mind whatsoever. Meanwhile, Velveteen Dream was trying to get Alistair Black's attention by taking the one thing from him that's a part of his attire and just parading around in it in a very flamboyant way. Alistair Black paid him absolutely no mind. He didn't even look in his direction. All right, Alistair Black did what he had to do. Black mass, Velveteen Dream, all he did was parade in the aisleway, uttering, say my name, say my name. Alistair Black didn't even look in his direction. So we got a black mass, 1, 2, 3. Now, remember when I said attention to detail? Alistair Black, after the black mass, sat in the middle of the ring Indian style like he usually does. Alistair Black did not move his head at all to look in the direction of the Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream started walking up the ramp with his vest still on, and he continued to utter, say my name, say my name. When the Velveteen Dream disappeared through the curtain back into Gorilla, they showed you a camera shot of Alistair Black. He then turned his head and acknowledged the Velveteen Dream after he walked away. Attention to detail. Alistair Black will not acknowledge the Velveteen Dream as he stands there looking at him. Alistair Black will not acknowledge the Velveteen Dream because that's what he wants. He did turn his head when the Velveteen Dream disappeared back through the curtain, through Gorilla wearing his jacket, his vest. he did acknowledge him. He did turn his head to look at where he was. And when he looked, he wasn't there. Attention to detail. This storyline is simple, it's effective, and it's great. Because it's going to get both guys over. It gives Alistair Black his first major program. It gives the Velveteen Dream a spotlight and a stage to show you what he's made of against a very good wrestler, to get his gimmick over, to get his act over, and it's working. Attention to detail. I can't wait to see what these two guys do in the ring at Houston during War Games at TakeOver, man. Absolutely loved it. Christy St. Cloud is back. We see her for a second time. I wish I hadn't. She's back for an exclusive interview with the NXT champion, and that is Drew McIntyre. Now, I do have audio of this because, again, attention to detail. This was great because this actually showed you why NXT does everything better than the main roster again. This was attention to detail. It was simple. It felt organic. It felt natural. It didn't sound scripted. There wasn't any overreaction. There wasn't any overacting. You know, Drew McIntyre's not the best promo, but he's a damn good sit-down interview when you give him, you know, a natural setting and you give him just that organic feel. It feels like a real fight. It feels like real scenarios and real happenings are going on, instead of this forced language and this forced verbiage on WWE television that just makes you want to turn your head, pick up the remote, and shut the television off. This was great. This is Zelina Vega interrupting Drew McIntyre's interview with Christy St. Cloud about the NXT Championship. Zelina Vega claims Drew McIntyre is ducking Andrade Cien Almas.
I was released from my dream job, and you know, that was a hard pill to swallow, because this is all I was ever going to do, was be part of WWE. And when I wasn't part of WWE anymore, I had to take a moment. I remember I was sitting by myself. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, was at work, so I was by myself in the apartment we just moved into that week, thinking, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to tell everybody? I had to call my dad on the phone and explain to him that I was no longer going to be working with WWE anymore, and he couldn't comprehend it because this is the only job I've ever had. You know, I didn't have any part-time jobs working in, you know, restaurants or kitchens or anything. I was always doing this and nothing else, and he couldn't understand. What are you going to do? Are you going to be okay? I know how worried he was, and like I said, the missus and I just moved into our first ever place together 4 days prior to that, and I mean that 4 actual days. And she was coming home, and I knew that I had to tell her, and she, like, I remember, took both my hands, like, looked me right in the eye and said, "Are we going to be okay?" And that, it changed something in me. You know, I think somewhere along the line,
see how natural it sounds?
Myself and lost who I was.
Does he sound scripted?
I guess the fire went out because she told me later on there was something different about it.
Just gives it a real feel that we're missing on the main roster.
And I don't know what it was, if the fire had went out or the fire was dormant, but it came back that day, and I told her things are going to be just fine. I don't do anything else. I don't know anything else. This is the job I know. I'm going to make something happen. And I worked myself to the bone. Like, she put up with so much, was so supportive. And together, you know, we built something very successful. And when the time was right, I got to fulfill that long-term goal. I came back here, and 4 months later, I'm the champ.
Wow, that's such an incredibly touching story, Drew. And I think part of what you want to do here is to inspire people. Is that right?
100%. Like, not just in this profession, just anyone around the world. You know.
Well, now she sounds awful. Christy St. Cloud is just awful. Her mannerisms, her facial expressions. My God, anybody could do a better job than this woman. She's just terrible. I can't stand looking at her.
Big dream. It doesn't matter if you're at the start of your career or if you're, you know, somewhere you don't want to be and you're working hard to get... Oh, hey.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Zelina. Hi. I'm going to be taking over the interview from here. Okay. Hi, Drew.
Hi. Please have a seat.
You know, I've been watching this interview on my phone, and as I was watching, I noticed that you and Andrade Cien Almas have a lot in common.
We do?
Yes, because he, too, was on a downward slope, you know. And he got a second chance. I was his second chance. I mean, you needed to get fired and fall flat on your face, but you're the champion now. But with that, you have a big target on your back. There's going to be a lot of people coming for that title shot. No threat bigger than Andrade Cien Almas.
Well, they cut it off on WWE's YouTube page, but from there it picks up that Drew wants Almas to come face to face with him and ask him for a title shot. Drew says, well, he's got you sitting here, you know. Why don't you go to William Regal and go ask for a title shot? I said I will defend my title anywhere, any place, against anybody. And then she went on to say, well, you know, William Regal, it's very difficult to get through to a guy like William Regal. If you are a champion, you have more pull with William Regal. He's going to be a little bit more open to listening to you. So Drew says, I'll make you a deal. You get Almas to come see me personally. We'll get this thing done right. And I want to hear it from him that he wants a shot at the title, and I will defend my title anywhere, any place against Andrade Cien Almas. But again, attention to detail. You looked at Zelina Vega in this promo, in this sit-down interview with Drew McIntyre. Drew sounded great. He sounded natural. No script or anything. It sounded real. Zelina Vega comes in here, and you got to look at her facial expressions, you know, giving him the eye, and just how she's like smirking at him, and, you know, when she mentioned that he fall flat on his face, and now he's the champion, just her mannerisms and all that. It just looks so much better than anything that's going on with Raw or SmackDown. And I'll say it once. I said it many times before. I'm going to say it again. Zelina Vega and her act for Andrade Cien Almas has not only resurrected his career, but has made him into a superstar. Because when you got someone like that, an attractive-looking female who can talk and who has the mannerisms and the nasty attitude when it calls for it, to get someone over like Andrade, who wasn't doing anything on his own because WWE pretty much didn't know what to do with him. He was a chicken with his head cut off. Now all of a sudden she comes into the picture, and he's going to be getting a title shot at a TakeOver at War Games. This is great stuff. And the fact that Andrade has come from New Japan, and the fact that Drew McIntyre is as physical as anybody in the WWE, and Andrade has that strong style mentality down, and Drew is one hard-hitting motherfucker. This is going to be a damn good fucking match, man. This is going to be a fight. And I can't wait to see this. You know, everybody thought it was going to be Adam Cole, but they're making the main event with Undisputed, Sanity, Authors of Pain, Roddy at War Games. I don't mind giving Andrade a crack at the NXT Championship. I don't mind Andrade being, you know, in a spotlight match like that, to get him over in front of a large audience, to show everybody what he can do against one of the best that NXT has right now. I'm all for it, man. I've been enjoying this ride with Almas all year. He has turned out some of the best matches on NXT all year. And I don't doubt that he and Drew McIntyre are going to have a great match in November, man. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what both of those guys do together. Cassius Ono defeated Cesar Bononi in via pinfall with his rolling elbow finisher. Bononi got to show off here for a couple of minutes. Bononi's got a great dropkick. That's all I got out of this. But, you know, Cassius Ono threw some knife-edge chops. He threw some punches. He threw some elbows. And he eventually gets the rolling elbow there on Cesar Bononi for the 1-2-3. You know, Bononi got to showcase himself for a minute. Not really that much time to showcase anything, right? He did upset Andrade Cien Almas earlier in the year, but he did get some time to showcase what he's got. Still not enough time, but Cassius Ono wins via the rolling elbow. They want to keep him hot. I just think Cassius Ono and his act is dead. I don't know what it is about him. I just don't like him. He's a great wrestler, very athletic. But the gimmick, the theme, the look, I ain't feeling it, man. It doesn't speak world championship to me. It doesn't. Now, I don't know what they're doing with him. I don't know what type of momentum they got him on. I don't know what plans they got for him. But it seems like Cassius Ono is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Before they let him go the first time, I seen a lot of big things coming for Cassius Ono. Now that he's back in his second run with NXT, I just think there's just so much other talent that I'd much rather see above a Cassius Ono. Wrong place at the wrong time. And that's what I'm going to continue to say about Cassius Ono as we move on into the rest of 2017 and on into the new year. Johnny Gargano will be going one-on-one against Fabian Aichner. He wants to get back to the winning ways that Johnny Gargano is used to, so he's going up against a very impressive Fabian Aichner that we seen just a couple of weeks ago So that should be a decent match, man. It'll be a decent match to get Johnny Gargano back in the win column. We also have the Battle Royal for the women's final spot at TakeOver. That's happening next week. Gargano and Fabian Aichner is happening in 2 weeks. So I like that NXT gets you hyped for things to come, not only next week, but the week after as well. In the main event, Sanity with Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf went up against the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. This was a disqualification. This was a disqualification or a no contest. The match was thrown out by the referee, says Mauro Ranallo. I think that's what he says. This is what I have in my notes. He said thrown out. So I'm assuming that the referee just threw the decision out the window. There was no winner announced tonight because the authors of pain, Akam and Razor, they came down and they destroyed Sanity. They destroyed Alexander Wolf. They destroyed Eric Young and Killian Dane. Wolf and Young, they were a part of the Super Collider. So that was the double powerbomb done to them. Killian Dane took the last chapter, that big lariat clothesline from both men, and they stood tall with the tag team championships. This is the first time we've seen the Authors of Pain since they lost the tag team championships at the last TakeOver to Sanity. So this is very interesting. There was one piece of interesting information there thrown out by Mauro Ranallo. He stated that the Authors of Pain have not written their last chapter yet in NXT. Again, attention to detail. I do think the Authors of Pain are making a jump to the main roster before the end of the year. I do think that is happening. Where they go, I don't know. Will they get buried on either Raw or SmackDown? Probably so. Probably so. But I would not even move them up yet, man. I think it's still too soon for the Authors of Pain. Still kind of green in the ring. Could use a little bit more seasoning down in NXT for another 6 months. But we got War Games taking shape, man. War Games is taking shape, and it's looking very impressive. I'm excited about NXT, man. Another good show. The pieces to the puzzle are finally falling into place. One of these weeks, we're going to get the formal announcement for NXT TakeOver War Games by William Regal with Sanity, the Authors of Pain, and Roderick Strong, and the Undisputed. There's one thing I do want to make mention here. The Undisputed, when the Authors of Pain came out to destroy Sanity, they backtracked and they ran away. They're trying to use this wily, sneaky, heel-like tactics to win. But they were showcased as, you know, guys who were just coming in, dominating everybody. I don't want the Undisputed. I don't want to see Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly be those guys that are going to run away from every confrontation. We have too many heels like that in WWE. For once, I want to see heels that are going to stand up to confrontation. I want to see heels that are dominating and that are going to make a difference, that are going to take a stance on what they plan to do in WWE. I'm hoping War Games solidifies the Undisputed Era as those types of heels. There's not going to be anywhere for them to run. So they better buckle in and get ready for a fight. But we've seen the Undisputed come in and lay waste to a lot of different guys since they made their mark in NXT. And now, week after week, we're starting to see them become a little bit more pussy. I'm just throwing that out there. Now, I know it might be part of their character, but that's not the way that they were introduced. They're looking for they're looking for new members. They're looking for strength in numbers. I want to see them dominate instead of run away. But I'm assuming if you're any team in the WWE, you're going to run away from the Authors of Pain. Nobody wants to be a part of that. So I don't blame them on that, but I hope that WWE doesn't book them with the cowardly heel in mind. That's all I'm saying there. But that is your NXT review, man. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video today. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed down below, and I will see you guys right back here tomorrow for another live stream on YouTube Gaming. Walking Dead, the final episode for season number 1. It's going to be epic. I'm hearing it's very emotional. Join me tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter for what time, because I don't know what yet. What time yet? I got to take my car to the shop, and I have to get a oil change and standard maintenance on my car, so I got to do that. But when I get back, we will be live streaming The Walking Dead. And then, as always, on Thursday, I record for Friday off the script coming this weekend. TLC preview and predictions. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content. Have a great night. I'm JD, and I'll see you tomorrow for The Walking Dead. I'll talk to you later.